Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about the preliminary October PMIs, the third quarter GDP figures being released this week, and the inflation data coming out. This is Marshall Gittler, Head of Investment Research here at FXPRIMUS, bringing you the Week in Focus. We've got a busy week of indicators. We'll get more data on the real economy as the October PMIs and the third quarter GDP figures start to come out. Also, a number of G10 countries released their consumer price indices, their CPI data, which will give us more insight into whether inflation in the industrial world has really bottomed out. That's quite significant when we consider how monetary policy, and therefore currency rates, are likely to develop. Today, we get the first of the preliminary market purchasing managers indices, the PMIs for the major economies. The figures are expected to show little or no change from the previous month. That isn't so bad, as the PMIs already show good signs of growth. Continuing along these lines, though, would not give any reasons for changing currency valuations. Adding to our information on global growth will be the third quarter GDP figures for the UK on Thursday and France and the US on Friday. Growth in the UK is expected to decelerate sharply, but remember that the third quarter saw the aftermath of the Brexit vote. So the fact that it escaped recession is an achievement in itself. U.S. growth forecast at 2.5% on a quarter-on-quarter seasonally adjusted annualized basis could be seen as sufficient to increase the odds of the Fed raising rates in December. And therefore it is likely to be positive for the dollar, in my humble opinion. We'll also get news about inflation as Australia, Japan, France, and Germany release their CPIs. Now, Japan's inflation is expected to be unchanged to lower, showing the nation's continued struggle to escape from deflation. This could raise hopes of more Bank of Japan easing and therefore be negative for the yen. The others are forecast to show a further step-by-step rise in their inflation rates. This indicates that global inflation may indeed have bottomed out. That could be modestly positive for the euro. The U.S. also releases the third quarter Personal Consumption Expenditure, PCE deflator. This is the Fed's preferred inflation gauge, and it's released as part of the GDP data on Friday. It's expected to show some slowdown in core PCE inflation, which would correlate with what's been happening with the monthly PCE data. That could dampen the dollar, although I expect the market will pay more attention to the good GDP figure that's likely to be released at the same time. The other important U.S. data we get this week is forecast generally to show a continued improvement in the U.S. economy. That, coupled with the rise in GDP, could prove positive for the dollar and have the dollar continue its recent rally. For the EU, a forecast small rise in the IFO index on Tuesday may corroborate Monday's PMIs and be good for the euro. Finally, the New Zealand trade deficit is forecast to narrow when the data are released on Thursday morning New Zealand time. That could be supportive for the New Zealand dollar. For an update on the U.S. indicators coming out today, please watch my North American opening market comment. This is Marshall Gittler, Head of Investment Research at FXPRIMUS. Get more market insights on our education pages and turn your trading ideas into action with FXPRIMUS, the safest place to trade.